So to start off, you're going to want to use your knife or machete and collect as much money as possible in these early rounds before you move on to starting the pack-a-punch machine. So usually stay in this area until around level 7 to get through the first several waves as fast as possible before moving on.
It is a priority.
So assuming you already know how to turn the pack-a-punch machine on, once you clear the pack-a-punch machine, you're going to want to get brainrot, essentially an ammo mod for your gallo that you get. Choose the gallo, get a brainrot for it, and then don't forget to go over to the rubble piles in these areas and look for the microwave dish that will be used for Klaus. So you can find it in one of these rubble piles near the pack-a-punch machine. After that, you can return to Hotel 305, where you can essentially get the hands used for building Klaus.
They're gone.
So now that you have brain rot, you can head over to the hotel, room 305, over here. And you can find this door that has some stuff blocking it. You're gonna shoot a zombie with brain rot near that door, and that's gonna allow him to break the door open and allow you access to get the hands to build Klaus. So at this point, you just need to get the battery that comes from the crafting soldat that spawns at round 10. So you can kill him with a non-upgraded gallo, get the battery, and then go create Klaus, essentially. Once you create Klaus, you can come right over to the switch control room right next door. So you can guide him there to open the cabinet with the number 0 on it, and that'll give you access to the blacklight.
You see, Requiem, it says it is programmed to help you. Surely this develops the taste for murder, but you are probably
just like that.
safe. It is always good to feel needed.
Now once you have the blacklight, you can immediately go over to the access tunnel and look for one of the codes that will be needed to get the wonder weapon. And they spawn the codes are found using the blacklight. In this case here it is number 13, and that's number 2 in the sequence, so 13 there. And the first number in the sequence can be found in the garment factory. So here it's number 17 using the blacklight. And the third code in the sequence can be found in the Bauer's Lot and grocery store. You need to look on the wall. It could be in any place here. In this case it's 34. And now after that I can return to hotel room 305. So now that you have the code using the blacklight, you can return to the safe. In my case, the code is 171334, and that'll allow you to get the wonder weapon needed to complete the Easter egg.
Don't panic, soldier. I am CRBR.
So now that you have the wonder weapon, you can return back to the original starting location of the map, and you can shoot the top of the antenna, and it'll drop one of the antenna parts that will needed to be crafting the hacking helm for Klaus. So the second part for upgrading Klaus's headgear can be found in the electronics store, where you shoot the radios with the wonder weapon, which will drop the transistor, second part needed to upgrade Klaus's hacking helm. Once you have that second part, you can head straight down towards Klaus, and the third part will be in the subway station. Right off the tracks, there's a box that you can shoot with the wonder weapon that will drop the final part needed for Klaus's hacking helm. Now you can go to Klaus and build it right on him, and that'll have the hacking helm portion complete, which will allow you later to access the satellites.
You know, this helm is pretty amazing. Like me. I can help you hack into the mainframe, if you're into that sort of thing. So glad to be here.
At this point, you can summon Klaus and bring him over to the sewer wall, which will allow you access to the secret lab. So bring Klaus over to this wall, command him close to it, and he'll break the wall down. With the wonder weapon, the more you get kills with it, it's going to spawn other variants of the wonder weapon that you're going to want to pick up, because you'll get essentially unlimited ammo that way, as ammo will regenerate itself. So you can't use the original base wonder weapon. You have to force a zombie to spawn one of the laser versions of the wonder weapon that allow you to melt the metal door. So in this case, I'm just going to try and kill zombies so that it'll spawn or drop one of the other wonder weapon variants. You need the laser one. Here's the laser one that can be used to melt the metal door and allow you access to the secret lab.
Once the door is open, apprehend Valentina or kill her. After she is dealt with, our teams can secure the outbreak zone.
Now that you have access to the lab, you need to play through around here until the energy shields surrounding the two objects disappear.
Is this your feeble attempt to stop me? I have already entered the dark. My ascension begins, and my army approaches the breach. The Reich have it.
Make sure you let Klaus get as many kills as possible, because he needs at least 30 to 35 kills to be upgraded
Army are already on the way.
very soon.
We need to consider more drastic measures, Colonel. We must close the gateway. Requiem, find a way to seal the breach. You must stop Valentina. That army cannot be allowed to reach our world. I wish I could say I did not want to leave, but
So now that the energy shields are gone, I usually shoot this box that will open up the traps. So you can collect your trap here, and you can collect your 3 canisters that will pop up here. Once you have those items, you can immediately leave the lab and proceed to the next part. So now that you have the traps and the canisters, you're going to want to go over to these green vessels that are found all around the map. Place the canisters in, drop the trap, and that'll lure the Tempest to spawn. You're going to want to kill the 3 Tempests that spawn here and collect their souls. And then you're going to want to deliver that canister back to the lab. So make sure every time a new variant of the wonder weapon drops, you pick that up. That way you can get more ammo after it reverts to the lower tier. Now once it turns purple, you can pick up the canister. At this point you can't sprint, so you need to be careful about how you approach this situation. You deliver the canister back to the lab and deposit it into the receptacle. Then you do that 2 more times with the remaining 2 canisters at any of the green vessels found around the map. And you'll have 3 purple canisters essentially deposited into this receptacle by the end of this portion. Grab another trap on the way out, because you'll need it.
That machine can create an inversion bomb that when detonated opens the breach.
Now once you have the 3 canisters complete, we can take the next step of upgrading Klaus. That'll allow us to get the keycard and the nuclear bomb from the train.
That should not be a problem.
You will construct an inversion warhead? Clever idea. I'm not surprised it was Pex. He needed to be the smartest person in the room. Huh. It will make no difference.
Always grab a minigun, because you'll need it. At this point, we're going to summon Klaus. We're going to go up to the garment factory.
This will be fun. Emphasis on the should be. Can't you just ask me? You know, with words.
So earlier on, we installed the microwave dish that we found into this unit, and now that Klaus has at least 30 to 35 kills, he's eligible to be upgraded in this device. So we can command him to approach it, and he'll get in it. When he gets in it, he'll be upgraded, and at that point you need to defend him for a minute until he's fully upgraded. And that will allow us to move on to the train portion. In the meantime, you're going to want to be saving up money to have a fully pack-a-punch wonder weapon.
Going there is even possible. Sure, it's not like I didn't invent
So now Klaus is being upgraded, and we have to defend him for 1 minute until it's done.
I can extract you if necessary. It's the Forsaken want to get you to our destroy it. My inversion warheads were better. You can know. What did you think of it for? To destroy the West? You are operating at peace. The truth is, you destroyed the only system
Now that the upgrade is complete, you can return down to the station, and you'll likely have to spawn Klaus again. Now once Klaus is available to be redeployed, you can redeploy him and bring him over to the train tracks.
This will be fun. Emphasis on the should be. I am surprised you are
So you're going to
unaware
want to
of the
command him
Forsaken.
to the train tracks
How do you
opposite
think
of this
we
area here, right across
We learned
from
from
there,
our
and you
contact
click
in
the
Requiem.
switch tracks button,
Your
and that'll allow the
organization
train
has
to
known
come
about
on this
entity
specific
longer
train
than
track
we
right here.
have. And they left you completely in the dark.
Get him in
Are you
position
sure
for the
you
ghost
can
train,
trust
and he'll actually stop the train and allow you to board it and get the keycard and the nuclear weapon. I usually use ether shroud here to make sure I don't get stuck by any zombies. So you can collect the keycard on the dead body and then the bomb in the chest. And from there you can return to the lab and deposit the bomb onto the 3 canisters. And then we can proceed to the next part.
KGB, then Omega, and convinced them to reactivate the cyclotron. Do you think a simple nuke could stop me?
So at this point we can use the keycard to browse the files on this computer that's near Klaus. You have to browse through the files 3 times to allow the satellite picture to show up on the computer. Now once that happens, we can initiate the satellite sequences
Honestly, I do not
at
think you
either of the
appreciate
green
how
tents
helpful I am.
found in West
I've
Berlin and
already
East Berlin.
activated several access points. Go me.
So the first initiation computer is in this green tent here in West Berlin. And that's going to spawn a bunch of elite monsters that are going to drop the uranium that will be needed to craft the rockets. And I'm just going to let this whole sequence play out so that I can see the best possible route. Because once the timer starts, if you mess up, the whole game's over.
Firing in 3, 2.
We initiate the sequence here, and that's going to spawn all of them.
Apex HVT has been acquired. You should know, the megatons corrupt the uranium. You will need to find a way to decontaminate it.
And ideally, you're going to want to kill these guys near this tent, because this is where the crafting table is.
Death machine, going in.
First, take out the mimics, and then focus on the elite. Once the megatons split into 2, each of those is going to drop a rock of uranium. And once that happens, the timer is going to start. So after 5 minutes, it's going to explode and the game's going to be over. So you have to do this quick. You grab the rock, go to this crafting table next to it, build the rocket, pick up the rocket. You can sprint, but you're going to be losing health. You're going to have to run a very specific route. So you're going to want to beeline it right down the zip line here and go straight across to East Berlin, essentially back to the beginning of where we spawned in the map. You want to cut straight across from here. It's a very specific route so that you do not run out of time during this process. We're going to go straight into this building and ride the zip line up. So here I like to take a left and go all the way to the other building, because we're going to need to attach each rocket to each side of the zip line. So we're going to attach the first rocket here. And we're immediately going to zip line back down and go all the way back to the crafting table and do the second one again. Also note, if there's a glitch where you can't go down here through the zip line, you can just pause it and unpause it, it'll fix it. I've lost a few games on this portion because I didn't have the optimal route down, and I think I have the optimal route down at this point. So we're gonna go back to the second rock that came from the megaton. Pick it up, quickly craft it, and bring it and repeat the process to the opposite side of the zip line. It's important that you get those uranium rocks to spawn right next to the crafting bench, so it's quicker. So we're gonna run essentially the same route, but with a twist towards the end.
So that explosion I mentioned, it's more like a miniature nuclear blast. Berlin
We're gonna run straight across, just like we did before.
Maybe pick up the pace.
Now instead of running left, you're going to run right here, zip line down to this building, and you're going to go to the opposite side of the zip line that you attached the first piece on to attach the second piece, and that's going to allow the pieces to collide with each other and create the cleansed uranium that is more stable. So that's going to stop the clock and the countdown, which is good. But you need to take that piece back to the lab and deposit it onto the 3 canisters and the nuclear weapon.
How wonderful! Uranium is no longer corrupted. So now, instead of dying
Now, unfortunately, once you get it there, you do have to repeat this process one more time using the other computer to initiate another satellite sequence. So you're going to have to run 2 more rocks and an additional 5-minute countdown to complete the process and allow you to get to the final boss fight. So I just wanted to make a note that once you spawn the second cluster of elites using the second computer here in East Berlin, you're going to want to return back to West Berlin to force them to follow you over to the crafting machine. That way the rocks drop very close to it.
Locking target. Initiating firing sequence. Firing in 3, 2, 1.
So they'll follow you over to wherever you're going.
Command. Apex HVT has been tethered.
Now returning to West Berlin, positioning ourselves close to the crafting bench so that the elites will follow us and drop the rocks as close as possible to the crafting bench and make it a little bit easier to run these routes. Now I'm going to skip this next portion because the routes are exactly the same and the process is exactly the same. Create the cleanse rock and return it to the lab, and that will allow you to initiate the boss fight.
And the army.
But you're going to want to
We're
make sure you're
trapped
ready.
in the dark ether. But his work was not.
Now I'm going to let this boss fight play out on its own to show you what kind of strategies you can use to complete this. Because it is kind of challenging if you're only using the wonder weapon. Because you could run out of ammo. So you need to always make sure that you're stocked
I
on ammo.
already told you. You are too late.
So returning the second cleanse rock will initiate this boss fight, and then you'll be stuck in this location. Unless you teleports to a new stage in the fight.
Is that you?
So make sure you have a self-revive and a minigun, as well as a fully upgraded wonder weapon,
Is angelic.
and as many perks as you can get.
Daughter of I am here to complete his mission. The dawn of the new Reich begins now.
Requiem, you understand. The majority of her army and the Forsaken are still in the dark ether. Kill her.
So she has a couple of different attacks. One of them is a barrage attack that you just generally want to avoid, but it's not too dangerous.
Form is primarily Ethereum. If we subdue
But she
her,
also has
her
a
energy will transform
very
the
powerful
crystal.
charge up strike that will damage you in one shot, even if you have full plates. That you need to hide when she does it. So you're gonna have to keep getting her shield off, and that'll allow you to get some hits in as well as use the minigun. So it's important to keep maintaining your zombies so that hopefully they'll drop an additional variant of the wonder weapon that'll allow you to maintain your ammo. Because if you run out of ammo, it's a big deal. Monkey bombs are also really useful in this situation that allow you to use the minigun without getting attacked from behind. So now I just burned my army self-revive, so I have to be very careful at this point. So we did enough damage to her that she was teleported to the next stage in the fight, and importantly that'll allow you to get another minigun as well as a self-revive and some armor along the way. But if you take too long, she'll teleport you to her location, so you have to do quick. And in this case, I stupidly forgot to get another self-revive. I should have got a self-revive right there, so that was risky. So right now I'm trying to find a different variant of the wonder weapon so that I can make sure that I never run out of ammo. So now she teleported me to this stage in the fight, which is a much more open area. Now she's charging up her charge strikes. You need to make sure you're hiding. You don't have invisibility, because that will down you in one shot. So I hide behind this truck, and that allows me to survive that. 'Cause I would have lost right there.
Give me your power!
Make sure every time she
Death
tries to
machine's
suck the
spinning
life
up.
out of these other zombies, you get them quick. Because that's a big deal if she's able to reheal.
And reloaded.
Activating motion.
No! My vengeance!
You're definitely going to want to prioritize picking up any plates and ammo that come off of the disciples or the elites.
Will bleed!
As you can see, I use that truck strategically to avoid the barrages and my charged up strikes.
Do your job, Marky.
Enough out of you!
Here she's doing another charged up strike, so you have to hide.
You get what you deserve.
Your lives are mine to take.
That's it for you, buddy.
I will enjoy making you suffer.
Here's another charged up strike. The trick is really to get her out of this area because it's very out in the open and it's difficult if you don't have, especially if you don't have a self-revive. The other areas in the fight are much easier to avoid the charged up strike. So now we have the intermission between the next stage of the fight, where we definitely need to get a self-revive, get more ammo, grab another minigun, maybe some monkeys if we have enough salvage. But if you don't hurry up, she'll teleport you there, so you have to do it quick. Another target effect, so we can hide in this area underneath the apartment, which is very easy to avoid as opposed to the truck in the other stage.
Rise, tormentor! From the ether! You will bleed! You will suffer! Alloys of the Reich! My tormentors! Break them! Your lives are mine to take.
Using
Show
death
them
machine.
our fury! This fight is
Sorry now.
tormentor! Rise!
That it? Really? That little right up. Believe me, this comes easy.
And then, in my opinion, on solo, you're going to want to be doing this as early as you can, so around 25 is what the earliest I've been able to do it. It just gets way too difficult and way too much of like a bullet sponge to be able to do it later. But you could probably do it at later rounds with an upgraded ray gun as well as a wonder weapon, if that's what you want to do. But round 25 seems to be very doable for a fully upgraded
Deploying death machine.
wonder weapon.
The new Reich cannot be
So now
stopped!
she's teleporting to the next phase, and that's going to allow us to kind of rejuvenate, grab some armor if we can, whatever we need.
Death machine spinning up.
So now we've reached the final phase of the fight, where we return back to the lab, where we're just gonna finish her off here, and that'll be it.
I'm making a dead sandwich. Switch keys. Appreciate the full mag.
From us? You cannot hide from me. Oh, we shall inherit this world.
Deploying death machine.
Rip from your bones. No! It is not possible! I was chosen! It was foretold!
Take her.
And that's how we
End
kill the
this.
final boss of Mauer Der Toten.
It cannot end
Hopefully this
like
guide helps you
this.
out, and here are the final cutscenes.
You cannot stop the Forsaken. He will consume this world.
Deliver the warhead to the Dark Ether. Let us be done with this.
I suppose this is the real reason why I'm here. Oh, well, it is important to feel needed. If you want me to survive, you could try doing something.
Using death machine.
I may not be a
I never waste ammo.
Time for a refill, Chief. Lock and reload.
I'll be the same.
Agents of Requiem. Your ally, Raptor 1. Has Requiem ever encountered a problem it didn't
All
try
you
to
need to do
destroy?
is come
and collect him.
Boy, are you a sight for sore eyes.
I do appreciate your assistance. But regrettably, I cannot allow you to leave Berlin. До свидания, Requiem.
I'm trying to help you, but you need to be ready to move. Hurry! Get to the rooftop! Now, Sam.